kind of muscles you have? No. Bro, what kind of patterns you have? Or is it just aesthetics?
Hello everybody, welcome back to training every single day. So I spent some time in the morning working some legs and a movement flow, working with lowering, crouching, and then standing in as many different directions and turning as much as possible, while still being very focused on the end. So like the step, the turn, being very mindful of each position I'm going to go through, exhibiting lots of control as much as I can. With some of these more difficult ones, I lose my balance or control over the position, but that's how you grow. That's how you adapt. You got to push yourself, and that's how I push myself, with ability to control each position, to orient to the direction I'm going to be facing, to the travel I'm going to do, and then lifting up the legs in various positions, working, using the legs to pick them up instead of using them as support. So that's what I did for the beginning, and then did some pushing and pulling work and some handstands. So I get outside in the morning, get some sunlight for the vitamin D, get your microbiome working, your circadian rhythm in tune with the sun, all good things. And going barefoot out in nature is a great way to develop your feet, because a lot of shoes atrophy the abilities of your feet, especially the toes, and the ability to sense the ground and perceive the ground and feel it, the temperature, the texture, using your feet. There's a whole lot. I mean, that is always in contact with the ground. And think about how much of an input, how much of a stimulus that you're missing. If you wear shoes and socks all the time, there's several layers between you and the ground. You're missing a whole lot of information that you can use to adapt, to grow, to be more, to expand your consciousness, just with the textures of the ground. That when you wear so many layers and your footwear doesn't allow you to feel at least the texture through the shoe, maybe you won't get the temperature, maybe you won't get the most perfect sensory feedback, but it's dulling your senses. You want to expand your senses, expand your consciousness, and a great way to do that is to use your feet to feel the ground. It's also good to get the fresh air, and it's very inspirational to be out in nature sometimes, if you know how to think about it in the right way. So leave a like, comment, subscribe, hype the video, all the basic YouTube stuff. And hopefully you are taking some time to move and improve. Take some of these tips and make them your own. Try to cater it to your lifestyle, and then help spread the wealth of health. Try to get other people to move in more functional ways. Weightlifting is good. Machines are good for building strength, but it doesn't build your coordination with the body as well as it could be with training that specifically is focused on that. So I had a really good feeling in the legs here. Engaged the hamstrings a good amount, which I liked, which I normally don't get to engage the hamstring. It's very difficult to engage. So I'm learning a little bit on what it takes to use those parts of the body. So here I did the handstand against the wall. This got cut a little short because of, I guess I let this room get a little too messy. These, whatever they are, these plastic little shelves on the side got in the way, and I ended up kicking it, so that cut the session short. I would like to do one more handstand, freestanding, to really develop the correct posture and to really understand what the right posture is. So I did against the wall, facing the wall, and then back against the wall with these handstands. Some of the easier ways to get into developing the feeling of the position when you're inverted, when you're balancing on the hands, when you want to keep this straight posture. So here, getting against the wall, getting as close as possible to the wall, doing squats against the wall when you get as close as possible, very good. And then I do another one but end up falling and kicking this plastic thing next to me. So keep your space clean, keep your area conducive to yourself, because your area, your environment, and yourself are a feedback loop. You influence your environment, and the way you leave your environment influences you. If it's in disarray, you're more likely to make a mess and have some clutter. And the things in your environment, like if you have a power rack in your closet, you're definitely going to be moving a lot more than if you didn't, right? You get that. It's kind of like when you go to a school and they have posters on the wall, and they like about learning and education. The decor, the whole vibe of yourself should all be pointing in the same direction. The preciseness of your language, the way you dress, how you hold yourself against gravity, all should be pointing in one direction, and that's your life's alignment. You should be aligning everything to all have compound interest, all be working together. Like you get 1% better from being more precise with your language, from reading or writing. You get 1% better just from dressing in the way that is conducive to your goals. And then you get 1% better just with your entertainment and your studies and how your environment feedbacks onto you. And those 1% should all be combining together, because 1 + 1 does not equal 2 when it comes to compounding interest. 1 + 1 is 11 when you're compounding. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.